watching something grow is special.
It's probably just gonna end up like around my whole apartment at this point.
And in Danielle Williams' home,
My favorite over there is my little monstera.
there is a lot to see.
Well, I'm trying to get him to get a plant, like a snake plant. It's super easy.
Her boyfriend Roger isn't really into the whole plant thing.
No.
But he is really into her.
Well, it's gonna be 11 months on Thursday.
Yes.
Yes.
And like so many recent great love stories, this one started with an app.
I was like scrolling through, and when I came across Danielle's profile, I tell her this all the time. Time like stood still. Like she was so beautiful.
So he hit her with something really romantic.
I do remember the exact message he said. I would run through a fire to be the Apple Watch on your arm.
Well, I knew it would be different.
And it worked. Fast forward nearly a year of living and loving in a pandemic.
It kind of just like worked out.
And believe it or not, they say they're thankful for a time that was slower and quieter, a time that forced them to look in.
This is real. Like we are like in lockdown. We have to be so conscious of who we spend our time with because we don't know who they're spending their time with.
We were just able to be by each other's side like nonstop, and I feel like when you're like that, you like can't help but to get to know somebody like quicker.
Now I know what you're thinking. What if they just got lucky? No, we went to the experts, the love scientists, if you will. Dallas-based Match Group owns a number of dating apps like Match, Tinder, and Hinge.
You know, this pandemic has made us grow up.
Dr. Helen Fisher is Match's chief scientific advisor. Match has been researching and collecting data from singles throughout the pandemic.
Spending a lot of time and energy on themselves, figuring out who they are, what they want, what they don't want, getting rid of what they don't want.
The data Match collected shows only 16% of DFW singles want to date casually. 63% want to find a long-term relationship. 46% want to be in a committed relationship in the next year. And this was especially true for DFW millennials.
And a lot of the big shifts that we saw really focused on personality, focused on emotional intelligence aspects versus, those kind of superficial elements.
Rachel D'Alto is Match's chief dating expert.
You saw so many of these relationships really become intense quickly because people were focused solely on the person in front of them.
Is that your workout hair?
Video chat dating also became a thing. D'Alto said before COVID, only about 7% of singles were open to a first date over video. COVID-19 bumped that up to a whopping 76%.
We had thought originally that that this video chatting might be just a blip, something people did during the pandemic. But what we're finding is that it's going to become a trend. It's too practical.
Which brings us back to these two.
You definitely get to know them, and you have no choice but to open up and show who you are.
And in a time where there really wasn't much to hide behind, a lot of people just stopped trying to hide. Research shows they grew instead.
Is this going to lend itself to stronger families and those longer relationships?
The answer is yes. Categorically, yes.
And there's something special about that.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate everything that you do, and you mean a lot to me.
That was cute. Well, how do you follow up after that?
You don't. In Richardson, I'm Morgan Young.